Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Den. I think this is episode 167. And yes, I'm having a proper cup of tea in my lovely teacup. I need to turn it around because it's got more flowers on this side, but I'm not left-handed. I will talk about that more in a minute, but I was just having a few little sips while it is still hot. There's my pretty saucer. And here comes Miss Fluff. So, yeah, welcome. If you're watching for the first time, thanks for joining us. I'm Knitting Den. I'm Denise. That's where I started. This Bindi Fluff. He's standing on everything. Oh gosh, sorry, I should have adjusted myself before I started. I'm Denise, and I'm also known as Knitting Den on Ravelry and Instagram. So if you are watching for the first time, thanks for joining us. I know I just said that, but I'm getting distracted because this little fluff thing jumped up. Yeah. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi here? So yeah. Where was I? I'm already off track. It's Tuesday. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was going to sit out on the porch, but it's rather chilly out there. I'm chopping my head off, and I don't know if you can see if I turn it like that, whether or not you'll get a chance to see. It's pretty overcast, breezy, and not very warm at all, to be honest. Colorado summers are certainly not like Texas summers. In fact, they're more like English summers. So, before we get started, I'll tell you now, there's no knitting. I was going to say there's not much knitting, but I've decided there's no knitting whatsoever because I'm going to talk all about England and show you some pictures as I talk about it, so you'll know what the pictures are, because I know I've been putting pictures at the beginning and the end of the past couple of podcasts and not saying where they are in England or who they are, I guess, but I think for the majority of the times you would have guessed it was my mum or sister or me and Kristen. But I plan on, I've made some notes about the places we were at, and I'll insert pictures as I talk about it, and I'll tell you what I'm drinking before I put my cup down. Yes, from Betty's Tea Room in York. I actually went in there and got the tea, blackberry and elderflower, sorry. This is one of my other favourites. I do like the rhubarb one that I was sent to try. And I found, I can't remember, I think somebody sent me that one sample as well, so I made sure I got a box when I was in York. And there's not much in this little teacup, but it's plenty for me. But I'm going to sit it down there for a minute. Yes, Missy Moo, I can't pet you the whole time. Alright, I want to say thank you to new members in the Ravelry group. Thanks for joining, and I just wanted to say a special hello and welcome to Victoria, who is all the way back in England, in Leeds, in the UK, and she's Mubsy on Ravelry. M-U-B-B-S-Y, not Mupsy, Mubsy. So, hi Victoria, thanks for dropping me a line in the welcome thread. If you haven't joined the group already, we have a group on Ravelry, the Knitting Den podcast. You can join. Hopefully you've joined, because there was a great giveaway going on, and I'm going to draw for that right now. And I'm going to have to pause the video because I didn't bring the bag over with me, so hold on a second. Okay, here's the bag that I brought. I brought you a gift, so, but just one of you. And Bindi, you're a pain. If you haven't seen it before, but you did, I'm sure you've seen it if you've entered the competition. It has a large strap, long strap in it, and I've got a couple of the little odds and ends in here that I'll draw a couple of other names for. Send out just a couple of little prizes. So, main prize, I'm going to do it right now. I guess I could have done it at the end of the show. Keep you all watching, but Not like that. If you don't want to watch, you don't need to watch. And if it was at the end of the show and you didn't want to watch, you would just fast forward. So, alright, I know we had 122 entries. And so I'm going to go straight over to the random number generator on here. And we'll put in 2, because I was number 1. My iPad started to go really slow, and I think it's because it's old. I still have to use it for hang on. I still have to use it for FaceTime, but I just got a new computer tablet, and it's called the Surface Pro 3, and can be used like a little laptop. It's got a little keyboard, but I also got a docking station for it so I can plug in a larger keyboard when I'm at home. And it's also really like an iPad. It's the tablet where you can just touch the screen as well. It's fabulous. So I've been playing around with that, but because it's not an iPad, I can't use FaceTime on it. So let me see. Minimum number 2, maximum 122. And I don't know if it's going to be, it's not very large, but you can see it there. Let's hit generate. And the number is 108. So who is that? Let's go see. You might already know it's you. If you know it's you, you'll be screaming, hopefully. Or you might be rushing there to the group to see if it's you, and you might beat me to it, because as I said, this is really slow. Still waiting to load the page, look. Here we go. Come on. Oh, goodness, I should have... Well, I did already have the page up, so... Hold on, let's see. No, I'm not. I'm actually in the welcome thread. So let me get to the giveaway thread. Oh, of course I pushed the wrong one. Sorry guys, it's taking longer than I thought. This is why I generally don't do drawings live, but okay, and the winner is, and I know her and she's so sweet, 108 is PJ. There's the number. PJ Crossing, and you're in Alaska, because I've written to you a couple of times. So congratulations, PJ! You got to win the bag! I'm so happy for you. Okay, so that is the winner for that. And I'm not going to do it right now because it's going to take too long, but I am going to put up in the thread, or in this week's thread, a couple of other names I'll draw in a minute, or when I get finished. One's going to be for the little bag, and I think I'll just pop some tea bags in there for you, but I think it'll make a nice little notions pouch. And then I'm just going to keep them very small. Somebody will get one of these key rings, so the 2 of yous, you'll get one of this one or this one. I'll send you a message to say, just let me know your address if I don't have it. And then I'm going to send a couple of these out, the little keychain as well, to somebody. So we'll have 5 other names, I guess. I'll do 5 other little prizes if that's alright. Okay. I'm so happy for you, PJ. I can't believe it. Or Paulie. I'm not sure if you go by PJ or if that's just your Ravelry name, but I know you're called Paulie. So. Alright, I'll move the iPad and I'll go to my notes and start chatting like I've never chatted before. Yeah, if you believe that. I've always chatted a lot. So, it was a busy week last week, and I really did not get much knitting done. I have been very busy doing the new Beachbody biz that I've kind of wanted to start, as well as doing my workouts, planning what we're going to eat, or at least what I'm trying to eat. I'm sticking to it more than the others. So it just kept me really occupied, and excuse me, I did not get to pick up the needles for very long, and I'm only working on simple things. So for now, or for this week, excuse me, now the tea's making me burp, I won't show you any knitting, and hopefully I can get back into that next week. What I wanted to say before I do start talking about England is the only other thing that's really happened as a big thing was school was back yesterday, and most importantly high school. Kiki started high school yesterday. Yesterday was great because they only allowed the freshmen to go in, and today it's the whole school, you know, like the 10th, 11th, 12th, whatever grades, and the seniors and all that. So yesterday was a lot better. It was really good. She really enjoyed it. She came home and said her teachers were fabulous, so I'm really happy about that for her. But I did, and I'll mention it here, because I did post on Instagram and Facebook, and I can't show you it on my phone, but see if I can get to Instagram pretty quickly. I got a text after I dropped her off at school. I got a text from her about 10 minutes later, and I was on my way home, more than halfway home, because the roads were a little bit quieter coming back. And I got a text, and I had to take a picture because I wasn't sure how to get the screenshot on. And this is, hold on, this is what it said on the text. You took me to the middle school. I dropped her off at the wrong school. I dropped her off at the Castleview Middle School instead of Castleview High School, which is kind of right next to it, but behind the middle school. Oh, was she mad at me? But as soon as she sent that text, I, had to pull over, text OMG, I'm turning around, I'll come and get you. So I did, and when we got to the high school, we weren't really late, although we were later than we should have been, but they were just singing the anthem, national anthem, in the gym, and we hadn't really missed anything, because as soon as we got in there, they started sending batches of kids to go get their schedule, so she joined one of the batches, and then she saw a friend. So it all worked out in the end. It was, it all came up roses or whatever. But I said, that's one to tell the grandkids. She wasn't happy with me for a little while, but what are you going to do? I'll only make that mistake once, won't I? So anyway, let's get into, I'm trying to look at the notes to see what I'll tell you about first. So England, if you're watching for the first time, a quick little recap. I went home a couple of weeks ago, well 5 weeks ago, because I've been back a couple of weeks. So 5 weeks ago at the beginning of July, or it was the 6th, I flew to England with my daughter to go visit my family, and we were there for 3 whole weeks, and I loved every minute of it, but my daughter not so much. And I'll tell you a couple of reasons why as I chat about the places we visited. So the first thing, I'm going to insert some pictures after I've said what they are, because I can't talk over the pictures like some of you can with the software you have. What I use won't allow me to do that. So as most of you know, I'm from the northeast of England, right on the coast, and so I'm trying to I want to glance down so I can read where I've put as well. So the first few pictures I was going to show you are of the couple of times we went down to the beach, because I'm literally a 10-minute car drive from the beach, and we went down a couple of times. I had to go, I can't remember if it was the second or third, because I didn't get to write in my travel journal as often as I would have liked. Got so busy I wasn't picking it up at the end of the day, forgot to take it with me to London, so I got right behind and I just didn't carry on with it. But anyway, after a couple of days of being there, we went down the beach. Weather it's not great in England, and both times we didn't really get any warm days down at the beach. It was dry, which is, you've got to be thankful for that. The times we went, if it's not raining, very thankful, but it's often quite chilly and breezy. But we stopped and got fish and chips. Oh. Boo, you can't go out. Bindy's blocking the door. You don't need to go out. We got fish and chips, and you'll see that in the pictures, and oh my goodness, I just can't believe how awesome they tasted. I forgot they tasted so good. They're even, and I've said this, if you've maybe read Instagram, or I'm not sure if I said it on there, but I've said it to people. They taste even better than they do at, like, round the corner at the chippy, as we would call it. So the fish and chip shops round the corner to where I live don't even taste as great as these right down on the seafront. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a certain oil they fry things in, or if it's just a mixture of the sea air. I don't know. But they were heaven, absolutely wonderful. So even Kiki liked them all, which is rare because she didn't like that much food when we were over there. So we did fish and chips. Of course, we took Mum every time we went out for the day like this to lunch and the beach and that. We took Mum all the time. And then a couple of days I did get to the fairground with Kristen and my niece, because she's got two younger kids, 11 and 6. There'll be a couple of those pictures slotted in. We did not get the ice cream picture, as one of you asked, but I did get the name in the sand, so you'll see one of those. And I did, if I make it the first one, on the plane we did get a picture of Pikachu on the plane, like she had taken when she was 7 years old. So I would like to have gone to the beach a lot more, but as I said, the weather wasn't great. And then the second weekend after our London trip, the weekend after that, was the air show. They have an air show in Sunderland every year, and there is hundreds of thousands of people, literally, that go. It's on a Saturday and a Sunday, and it actually starts Friday night, where people are actually going down there. I didn't want to go anywhere near it. I don't like huge crowds like that. I don't like fighting for a parking space and all that. So we don't go. We used to watch the air shows years and years ago when it was not at the beach and it was nearer where I lived. But so I've seen all the planes, and I just didn't want to battle with it. So here's going to be a few pictures of the beach, and just out for fish and chips with my mum and my sister and her husband and me and Kiki. I think that's really... Oh, and then my niece and her two kids will be at the fairground, kind of thing. So have a look at those, and I'll be right back. I wish I was still there. Okay, so next, I'm not saying these in any particular order, but I'm just talking about them as I've thought about them and written them down. So one day we tried to go to not Warwick. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name. Can you believe it? Castle, not Warwick Castle, because that's in Warwickshire. Oh, I'm going to just have to put it up here because my mind's gone. It's where they filmed some of Harry Potter's movies, and it was where apparently they'd started filming some of the Downton Abbey. The Christmas special has been filmed in this castle. So we wanted to go there, at least I did, and the last time we were there we didn't go into the castle, we just stayed in the gardens that are around there. So we drove all the way there, and it was about an hour's drive, which is kind of a long drive in England because everything's on your doorstep, and most of the time you're just driving 10 or 15 minutes away. We got there, we pull up, and we are about to pay the guy in the car park, as we call it, standing there, you know, waiting to get, you had to pay £5 for your car park. And he briefly mentioned that, by the way, the inside of the castle is closed for filming. We say filming. And I was just gobsmacked because I'd only just been on that website the night before and I didn't see anything mentioned about it. So my sister asked, you know, if we can't get in the castle, what else is there to see other than stand on the outside and take pictures? And the young guy said, grass. Seriously. So, not impressed. I did not want to just park and then go take a few pictures of the outside. So we came away from there and ended up going to a place called Warkworth Castle. And that is an old ruined castle. It's a medieval castle. Now, I'm not I should say a great historian or storyteller like Dan is from the Bakery Bears podcast. So I can't tell you that much about it. If you want to read all about it, then you'd have to Google it, because I'm just not very good at it. I could write notes down, but I'd have to read them anyway. I can't just remember it from the top of my head. But it is a medieval castle, and it's in a town called Warkworth, in the county of Northumberland. I'm trying to read my writing. Apparently they weren't sure when it was built. It could have been possibly mid-12th century for Prince Henry of Scotland, or it says possibly by Henry II of England when he took control of England's northern counties. But it was really nice to look around. Kristen was pretty fascinated with that. You'll see a few posy pictures of her. She, you know, she just liked it because she's not a girly girl. She's a bit of a tomboy. She likes the swords and the dragons and all that. So I think she really enjoyed it looking like, you know, like an old castle, which it was. So there's quite a few different pictures, and I'll probably just go through them quite quickly. And then we also had a pub lunch. You might see the pub right next to the castle. We went there afterwards. I bought a few things from there, and I didn't get to bring a couple of them home because the suitcase was so packed. I did buy a bottle of wine. I think it was a strawberry something wine. We got to taste a few. And then I also bought some pickle that I was going to have a ploughman's lunch with. And a ploughman's lunch in England, in a pub, generally is like cheese and crusty bread, pickled onions, and sometimes it has like a chutney pickle, which is why I bought this jar and I couldn't bring it home. Anyway, I don't want to go too long about that, but I didn't get them in my suitcase, which I was sad about, but at least my sister will probably get to enjoy it. So that was the day at Warkworth, and again, it was dry, there was some sunshine, but really very, very breezy, windy I would actually say, which it doesn't totally spoil it, but you know, it could be a lot better. The weather makes all the difference, so it's still an enjoyable day, but we do always, every time we go out, we just wish the weather was better or warmer or not so windy. But that's what you're going to do. Can't really do anything about it. Thought I heard a dog barking out there, and this one would follow, but okay, so take a quick look at those. And we're back for the next trip. And the next trip is, of course, I haven't talked about it yet, London. Now, I didn't get great pictures of Harrods, unfortunately, but London was the first weekend we got there. We got there on a Tuesday morning. Saturday morning we got up early, we went on the train, about 3 hours on the train, and when we got off at the other end in London, we went to the hotel, put our bags in, probably shush you, it's boo now. Put our bags in the hotel, and then went straight back down into a train station, but hopped on the tube and got off at Harrods. Harrods was our first stop. Now, by this time, Kristen was already not feeling very well. Bindi! Alright, they stopped barking. It gave me a chance to go get my drink, because I'm going to get rather dry talking. I'm going to start going a little bit faster because I'm not sure how long I've been chatting, but I don't want this to be 2 hours long. I don't think I could talk that long without getting a bit hoarse. So, London, she wasn't feeling very well because she hadn't really eaten much on the train, and we set off, you know, we'd been up since 5:30 or 6, I think it was, we left the house at 6 to get to the train station. Train was early at 6:45. She hadn't really eaten. I think she had one little muffin, hadn't drank much, and then was getting tired. She was still kind of jet lagged from getting there. So already I felt like I couldn't really look around Harrods as much as I wanted to. Not that I could look around as much as I want to anyway, because I seriously would need a whole day, and we were only there for 2 days. So it was a quick run into Harrods, especially into the touristy souvenir places where I got the bag, and I picked up, you know, these little things. And I got some tea bags, which you'll probably find in your envelopes and in the bag, and then they are going into the Brit kits as well. So I got some tea from Harrods. The rest of the pictures I'm going to insert here, pretty self-explanatory. Again, Kristen wasn't that well by the time, but we did get to go see the Lion King musical. She was tired, that was at 7 o'clock, but she managed to, you know, she was sitting by then and feeling a little bit more comfortable. But she'd had a really bad stomach ache, and I think it was lack of water. I think that's half of the reason, most of the reason why she wasn't well. It was dehydration. Bindi, shush! So, but we saw Lion King that evening. The next day, the Sunday, we went to do the London Eye, which was the big circle, big wheel that you go in. We did that. We went to the Tower Bridge, the London Bridge, and then the Tower of London, which I didn't get to go in because, again, she wasn't feeling well. So my niece went, she deliberately went there, my other niece, because she wanted to go and see the history and all that of Anne Boleyn, where she was imprisoned and all that. So, as well as seeing all those sights, it was a wonderful opportunity to get to meet my very first, in England, knitty friend on Ravelry, who is Mel. Mel got to London, I think she lives just outside of London, but she's from Australia. And on Ravelry, you'll know her as Melly Hermit. And she met us for dinner, and I think it was about 5 o'clock on the Saturday. So I've got a picture of Mel, me and Mel in there as well. And I just want to say a huge thank you again, Mel, for taking the time to come and meet me. And the sad part is, and everybody that tried to meet me or that did meet me, it was just not long enough. You know, just an hour or so with these people is not long enough. So sadly, it was only during dinner that I got to sit and chat with Mel. But who knows, I might get to do it again, maybe next year. So, sorry, still waffling. Here's London pictures. Alright, up next, quickly, I'm going to tell you two other places in the northeast that we visited. Beamish. Beamish is a living museum of the northeast, life in the northeast during the 1820s, the 1900s, and this hair, if you can tell, is getting on my nerves, and the 1940s. It's on 300 acres in County Durham, and we took Mum there, and that was kind of lots of cobbled streets, which was not very comfortable for her. So again, it was kind of cut short because of those things, you know, having to push Mum around that kind of street and try and get her on and off the bus that took you through the town. We couldn't get her on the tram because, you know, it wasn't wheelchair accessible, so there was a special bus that had a ramp and we had to wait for that. But at the same time as having a nice day there, I got to meet two other friends, and that is Sue and Linda. So they came to Beamish and met us for tea, and I think that's when I had a cream tea, but we were waiting for them, so we didn't have cream tea together, but we all had a cup of tea or coffee and that. And again, not very long, not long enough, but you'll see a couple of pictures of us three, excuse me, in amongst the Beamish pictures. And one of the things which I absolutely loved was there was an old sweet shop there. When you walked into this sweet shop, it had all the sweets, like when I used to be a kid. And no, I wasn't a kid in the 1940s, but they were still very similar when I was growing up, where they had jars of sweets on the counters, and they had sticks of licorice and just all of the sweets that I had as a kid. So I bought them. There was cinder toffee, there was licorice with sherbet to dip your licorice in, and I got some Edinburgh Rock, which hard to explain, but you do buy it more often than not in Scotland, and it's tiny little pieces of candy that almost melt on your tongue, little square bits. It's hard to explain what they are, but it's not hard rock as in like a candy cane. It's not that kind of rock. As I said, it's a bit softer. It's kind of like one of those mints that will melt on your mouth, like an after dinner mint thing. Anyway, so that's, I really enjoyed that, and again, I didn't see enough of it. I really would have liked to have spent more time there, but here's some pictures of that. And another wonderful day out was in Durham, and that's up in the northeast as well. Nearly didn't get there, and nearly did not meet these two fabulous people, and you know who I'm going to talk about, and that is Dan and Kay and Bryony, their daughter, from the Bakery Bears podcast. It nearly didn't happen. They were busy. I was going to go to Durham one day, and Kay and Dan couldn't make it because of work schedules. And then I didn't think I was going to get to Durham because we were trying to do other things. And then I decided we changed the schedule around, and I squeezed Durham. I said, I can get to Durham on Saturday if you can as well. And I was due to fly home, or we were, on the Monday. So we were cutting it short, but they did. Kay said, yes, we can make it then. So we met them there, and you'll see those in the pictures. And you've seen a little, I know I inserted the little video from last week. I can't remember, I think that was at the beginning of last week's episode. So we met in Durham and we had lunch together. You'll see a couple of pictures. Durham is again, I didn't write a lot of the history down. There is a beautiful cathedral there. And I think Dan got a really nice inside picture. And just as I was about to take a picture, shush boo, I got told no cameras allowed. So you might have seen a picture from Dan. I don't know if he sent me that, Dan, I'm not sure. So I can't really insert it. I don't think I've got it. But there is some pictures outside of the cathedral. There's some pictures of the Morris dancers that were dancing around when we got there in the marketplace, which is really, you know, interesting and fun to watch. So I'm going to, again, just quickly insert them because I can tell I'm already getting hoarse. Okay, and then moving on to York. We did actually go to York before we went to Durham, just a few days before, I think. And again, I didn't think I was going to get there. We did not get to Scotland. I didn't think I was going to get to York because Kristen, again, she wasn't feeling very well for quite a few days. Not only had she'd had stomach pains with the, you know, dehydration, she then started getting sniffles and congestion and sore throat, which is what my niece's young girl got as well. So that something like that was going around. I even got it. I'm sure I started getting a sinus infection. But so health-wise, we weren't, you know, 100%. But we did manage to get to York, and shush you. Unfortunately we didn't take Mum there again because of the cobbled streets. I'm going to have to shout at him. Hold on. Right. Because of the cobbled streets, and every time we took her out, she was getting a little bit tired. I think she's not done so much in months. So we didn't take Mum to York. Again, it's because of all the cobbled streets. I know she wouldn't have been comfortable getting pushed around, and she didn't mind having a day's rest. In fact, I think my brother went up that day and took her out just for lunch and then got her back to the house so she wasn't out for too long. So York, again, I've not got written down all the history about it. I just was going to insert some of the pictures. And again, it wasn't a very warm day. We did get the train there, and it only takes an hour, which is just fabulous. I can't believe I can just pop on a train now. I don't know if you could do it that easy when I was younger, to be honest. I mean, the trains were always there, but you might have ended up having to change trains. They might not have been direct, I don't know. But we just didn't do it. It might have been lack of money as well, back in the day. So 1 hour on the train at, I think the train was at 8 o'clock that morning. We were there by 9, and we stayed till 7 o'clock that night. So, you know, it was a bit tiring walking around again, which is why we were glad we didn't take Mum, because we were tired ourselves. We had a very long lunch, and you know, so we weren't walking around for too many hours. And then after a few more hours, we had a very long break in a pub with some drinks. And because it was rather cold, me and my sister actually even had a hot cup of coffee, and the two young girls had hot chocolate. I mean, it's just not summer weather, you know. Well, what are you going to do? It was still fabulous. So here's some pictures of York. And finally, the last thing I was going to just show some pictures of, and I'll get back to my cup, and I've drank it already, but this beautiful cup, this is what I got from the Serendipity Tea and Trinkets shop that I told you all about before I went to England, which my high school friend, I don't want to call it high school, we didn't call it high school, it was comprehensive, but she has opened a business about 3 years ago, a little tea shop in the town I was born in, where she was born in, and so I had a cocktail in this, believe it or not. I didn't have a cup of tea, I had a tea cocktail, and it was called a Judy Garland. And I think when I put on Instagram, somebody said, never heard of it, this cocktail. But I don't think it's a, you know, a real cocktail name like a Shirley Temple or, you know, a Cosmopolitan and all that stuff. I think she just kind of put the names on. I think she just created them herself. So this cocktail with the Judy Garland was vodka, lemonade, yeah, and I'm having this at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Vodka, lemonade, grenadine and apple juice, and it was served in a teapot with a little umbrella in it, and then this teacup. And in fact, I actually picked out this teacup because I asked if I could buy one to bring home with me. I was going to get the one that Mom used, my mum, but Mummy decided she wanted a latte with Brenda, so she didn't have a cup of tea, so she didn't use a teacup. So I decided to pick a teacup that I really liked. I had my cocktail in it, and then she let me bring it home. She wouldn't let me pay for it, but I did buy another mug that I'd asked her to hold for me. So that was a special gift, and I don't think she actually watches this, but thank you, June, if you do. I just really appreciate it, and I'm going to cherish it. I really will. In saying that, while I'm talking about old friends, because she might be watching, I got to meet, and I'll insert a really quick picture. That is my oldest, one of my oldest friends, and I don't mean by age, but we have known each other since we were in infant school, which is kind of like your kindergarten. We were 4 or 5. We started school, went through school all the way through, and we were like best friends. I was bridesmaid at her wedding, and the last time I saw her was at my dad's funeral. And before then, and that's like 16, nearly 17 years ago, before then, I hadn't seen her in many years because I had moved further down south when she was still living in the town where I was, you know, where we lived. I hadn't seen her because I worked down near Cambridge, and I was in Suffolk, and that's where I met, you know, hubby. So I hadn't seen her in many years. I don't know how many, but it was, could have been over 10 years. So I didn't get to see her before I left for America, but that was the same time my dad was ill. I went back 6 months after that in the September of '98, and I hadn't even been in touch with her because obviously we were going through my dad being very ill, and you know, he died a few weeks after I was still there. And I just turned round at the funeral. My brother turned me round and said, "I think someone's here to see you." And of course I just broke down. She's probably crying if she's watching this. I broke down because it was pouring of rain, and she's standing there under an umbrella, and she had come because she'd seen the announcement in the newspaper that my dad had passed. And you know, I mean, she knew my dad. We spent all of our school life together, and she was just there, and I just, yeah, it was very emotional. But she came back after the funeral. She came back to my sister's, and we spent a few hours catching up, and that was the last time I saw her. I know she found my knitting podcast, and I told her I was headed over, I was home, and then she came over and had a couple of hours again, and we caught up. I hope it's not another 17 years, Elaine, until we see each other. If I'm over next year, we're definitely going to get to see each other more than a few hours. So just wanted to say hi to you as well. So yeah, that was the tea shop, meeting friends, and I think that is everything about our trip. And as I said, getting hoarse. A couple of things, and I'm nearly out. I did add a couple of mugs to my collection. I got this one, which I just love the colours. It was just in a little souvenir shop. I got this one when I was down in London, of course. Oh, and I meant to bring the, oh, I need to get this off the sticker. I did have a picture frame similar to this that I'm going to put mine and Kristen's picture in when we're standing outside a Big Ben. I got that. And then this is the mug that I got from my high school friend. It's a Mackem mug, and those that were born in England, not England, those that are born in Sunderland are called Mackems. Not to be confused with those born in Newcastle that are called Geordies. So Mackem, and I mentioned this before, but I'll say it again in case you don't know. Mackem, because our slang, the accent we have, we won't say make or make, as you would say. We don't say make and take, we say mac and tack. I'll mac a cup of tea for you, I'll tack this out, I'll tack this away instead of take. So I got this wonderful mug, and it's got a ton of, I'll hold it up, see if you can read some of the words. Not that you'll know what they are. I'll tell you what some of them are in a minute. But some of them I don't even know myself, but I'll not say those ones. So I was about to say, when I went to that sweet shop, we actually called them kets. We called sweets, candy, kets, and it's actually on there, look. I was about to say, can't believe I got these kets. That is just a exclamation as to say, well, of course, yes. Haweer, that's one of the things we associate when we're talking about our soccer team, Haweer the lads, but Haweer means come on. If I want you to come on, come with me, I say, Haweer man, hurry up, kind of thing. I cracked up with this one. Elaine, you're going to be laughing. Chabble. You won't believe what chabble is. I think this is what I would call it. I called a chabble. It's a table. That's where I'm sure I'm right. Dean, D-N, what you dean? That means what are you doing? What you dean? Sunderland, that's Sunderland. Although I've never pronounced it Sunderland. Sunderland, I would say. Lad alive. Again, just another exclamation, like seriously? Oh, that kind of thing. That's at least how I would say it. Mint, M-I-N-T, but that means it's really, really good. Kind of like when you say mint in mint condition, but we say mint, it's just mint. Had away with you means, say if you're chatting and you would say something like, if you didn't believe somebody, or, like, oh, go on, never, oh, had away, I don't believe that kind of thing. Not always just to do with believe, but just go on, shoot. Even with kids, you're like, had away, go away. It's just so many different connotations or, things. E, I often say that. I'll say that to this day. In fact, I say it every day. It's E when I, kind of surprised. Gadgie, that is or a bloke. A gadgie is a man, a fella. The chemist, well, that's a pharmacy. Shut up. Shut up obviously means shut up. Gowie, gosh, I can say that was tiny. I know nobody, you'd never guess what that is. Gowie. Elaine, do you know? It's chewing gum. Don't ask me why, but I just remember it being chewing gum. Clears, well, there's clarts here. My sister was saying that the other week, and her grandkids didn't really know what she meant either. She said it had been raining, and she told them when they went into the backyard or the garden where there's grass, Be careful because it'll be clarty. There's lots of clarts, and that's actually mud, but we call them clarts. But then I noticed that this word says clears. Clears or clays, but we say clears because of our accent, and clears are actually clothes. So if you were going on holiday or vacation, you would actually hear somebody say, what clears are you taking? You know, have you decided on what clears you're taking with you? So yeah, so many strange toweled, T-O-W-L-D, toweled, that just means told. And I'm trying to find some others that, canny, I've told you that one many a time, canny, canny last, you know, nice, it's canny, it's like, it's pretty good, yeah, it's canny, or he's canny, he's nice, or even we would say something like, oh, it's a canny long drive, which has got nothing to do with nice, but means, you know, like rather long, pretty long, very long. It's just so many different ways you can use it. So I think that's all. There is some others on here, but summit. Summit means something, not summit as in, you know, top, summit. Knee wears. Knee wears, N-E-E. So you can see that. Where's my finger there? It's all blurry. It's often blurry. Knee wears, N-E-E-W-A-Y-S. Knee wears means there's no way. That's what that means, seriously. We'd say knee wear, there's knee wear, he's going to be able to drive that road, blah, blah, blah. Or there's knee, or you'd say knee wears, is he going to be whatever. So there's no way you're going to be able to do that, is basically what we're saying. Knee wears. So, enough of that. That leaves me, that's everything regarding home and the trip back home, England. So if I've bored you silly, I'm sorry about that. If you enjoyed that, I'm glad you did. But next week we'll get back into what this is all about and why I started this podcast. It's all about my knitting, your knitting. And I know I do have, you know, the end part is usually in my life anyway, but the whole video this week was my life. So before I go, a couple of updates. The Kiki Boo bags, the kits, coming, you know, getting them finished off. Michelle's dyeing the yarn, getting it sent to me. I've seen the pattern, Susan Claudino, who was designing a pattern for us, all finished. You're going to love it. So just, you know, hopefully next week I'll have perhaps a date that I know I'll be getting them shipped out. But I've said by the end of August, that's what I'm shooting for. I don't know if it'll be much sooner than that because of everything that's been going on and me having to catch up with 3 weeks worth of stuff. Sorry. Yeah. And I'm letting me hair, me fringe grow out, which is why I'm putting up with it doing this. So, sorry about that. And finally, what kept me busy all this week, as I mentioned last week, is fitness and health. It's going to be not necessarily a new section, but right at the end of the podcast I will give you some updates on what I'm doing, because it's going to keep me accountable, and what you guys are doing or what you can do. So I want to say a huge thank you to you girls that joined me for our first clean eating challenge. It was a 5-day challenge, and it was last Monday to Friday, where we all made a very big effort, and I know we all did great at it, cutting out processed foods, definitely sugar stuff and everything, and ate clean for 5 days. And when I say clean, I'm talking about fresh food, fresh veg, fresh lean proteins, all of that good stuff. So a quick example, say I was having turkey bacon for breakfast with some eggs and some fruit. Lunch is a nice chicken salad, or I've shown in a video recently a spinach salad with chicken and some fruit and a little bit of feta cheese on top, that kind of thing. I have a snack after my workout. My snack is, you can have it for lunch, it's a meal replacement, but I use it as a snack, which is really still a meal because I'm having about 5 or 6, small meals a day. And that is the Shakeology. And that's the protein, more than a protein shake, but it's the great shake I think is great from Beachbody. And I do want to just mention, and you might keep seeing these neon looking nails. My niece did these nails, and it's the shellac, the gel kind of nail polish, and you can see, without it being blurry, you can see that they're growing and they'll need redoing, but they never chip. I've had these on well over 2 weeks, or on. They're my nails, but I've had the polish on over 2 weeks, and I've never seen my nails grow so well without chipping, without snapping. But I think I'm putting that down to not just the fact that I've got a nice strong nail polish on them. I honestly think that's to do with the Shakeology as well. Shush, please. He barks at nothing. He's in the hallway, sleeping most of the day, and barks at nothing. Anyway, I honestly believe a lot of that's to do with the Shakeology. It's given me so much energy. I'm just loving it. And it does, and I think this is what's helped as well, it does actually curb your cravings, staves off hunger. Is that the right word? But I've allowed myself in the past week 1 Kit Kat. I will carry on eating Kit Kats. I'll probably allow myself 1 or 2 a week because the clean eating challenge is over with, but I am still doing the 21-day fix challenge. Now, I'm eating the same menu for the most part, but as I said, I am going to allow myself a treat once in a while, otherwise I'll just cave and want to stop altogether. So I'm surprised because I thought I would be really craving some chocolate or the Kit Kat with my coffee every morning, and I'm not. So that's good. I do have my coffee every morning. I wake up really early. I get up at 4:30. I've got to get up and, get hubby out to work, encourage him, make him a cup of tea or coffee, pack his lunch and say goodbye, and he's out by 5 o'clock. But 5 o'clock in the morning is way too early for me to have a breakfast. And they do recommend you eat within the first hour of waking up. But, if I eat at 5 o'clock, then at 9 o'clock I'm going to be ready for lunch. So I tend to just have a coffee, and I will use a tablespoon of creamer still. That's my one little cheat every day. But I don't have a Kit Kat. And I've been okay with that. So that's what's going on. As I said, we finished the challenge, and I want to say thank you. You girls did great, and I'm just so thankful that you joined me. It kept me motivated all week, and I am continuing on because my goal, and you'll hear me say this, from one week to the next, I'm not quitting, I'm not stopping. This is why I joined Beachbody, not just to get the program and to just drink Shakeology. I've joined it as a coach that will help and motivate other people, because I know it's going to keep me motivated and accountable. So you will see me talk about it a lot. It's kind of almost like my business. I'm taking this seriously, guys, but it's not all about the money. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it's not. If it makes me some money, then that's great. I mean, I've been a stay-at-home mom for years, and it's quite thrilling, to be honest, to think I can make some money from doing something that I love and that helps others. That's what's more exciting to me, that even if the money's not there, keeping me accountable is what will keep me accountable, is helping you guys or my other friends or new friends. I'm just really set on fire about this, and it's because I don't want to quit. I don't have a lot of weight to lose. I've never had a lot of weight to lose, but I need to get healthy. And already within a couple of weeks, I can see a difference. I can get up the stairs without being out of breath, seriously. And before, a few weeks ago, I was telling you, I just feel so lethargic and tired. I could hardly walk up the stairs with the laundry, and I see an improvement. So I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on offering a 5-day clean eating challenge. It's free. I'm going to do that for now probably a couple of times a month. So we've had one just end. I'll probably start one again in another week or so, and you will see details. I'll probably tell you here, but there is going to be, I do have a Facebook page. I have my personal Facebook page, and I will create an event page that tells you when it's going to start. So if you're not friends with me on Facebook yet and you want to be, just shoot me you know, a request. If I remember, I'm going to put my link in the thread. There's a thread in the Ravelry group called A Fitter Knitter. I'm going to put it in there, and it'll be in this week's thread as well, because it's very difficult to find me on Facebook. But I know it's very difficult to find all of you as well. I mean, I've looked for you guys with just your name, and there's so many, and it doesn't tell you exactly where you are when you're looking at them, so it's hard to see if that's you or not. Same goes with me. You're having a hard time just putting in Denise Schultz and finding me. So there is a specific link to our Facebook pages, because we have a number at the end of our links. You will as well. So you can find me if I give you this link. I'm staring at a hummingbird that's hovering right outside the window there, hoping he wasn't going to hit it. So you can get in touch with me like that. You can get in touch with me on the Ravelry group, PM me on Ravelry, send me an email, Denise Schultz, no, D Schultz 46, and I'll try and put these links everywhere, dschultz46@gmail.com. Contact me anytime you want if you want to get in on the Clean Eating Challenge. It's a great way to start and learn about what you should eat and what you shouldn't really eat if you're wanting to start, you know, give your health and fitness journey a kickstart. So in saying that, I'm carrying on with my 21-day fix. I have a group starting on a challenge starting on the 24th of this month. And I know a few of you from the Clean Eating Challenge are joining me. You've already got your packs ordered, and thank you for that, because yes, that is part of the business side for me. But it just doesn't stop by saying, oh, buy this from me, and then that's it, bye-bye. If you've bought that challenge pack and you're with me and I'm with you 100%, not just for 21 days, I want to keep you motivated, keep you going as long as you are willing to go. Because it's not going to stop for me. My goal, I've got next year in sight, and I'm going to be so toned up, it's going to be ridiculous. I seriously am. I'm just saying. So with all of that about, you know, clean eating and everything, I did put up, just this morning I think, a video about prepping the meals. It's a quick video, and I'm sure I'll make a better one over time. As you can see, because, you know, I haven't got my hair washed or nothing, but I just wanted to show you what kind of meals I was prepping, and I showed you a little bit about how to make spaghetti squash, because I've not really had pasta. Can't remember last time I had pasta. I'm using spaghetti squash instead with some homemade tomato sauce, and the homemade tomato sauce comes from this book, which is to go along with the fix, the 21-day fix. Now, there was the first three that signed up for the 21-day fix program is getting one of these as a gift from me. I'm trying to find I know what page it's on. I'm trying to find the recipe, and this sauce is absolutely delicious. It's this one, and it's a big pot like that from the recipe, and she calls it Grandma's tomato sauce. And it is divine. It's got a bit of red wine in it and tomato paste, which makes it really nice and rich. So that will be probably one of my lunches or a dinner tonight, with some homemade, either homemade meatballs, a couple of those, or even just the ground beef to pop in it like a bolognese sauce. But this is really fun. Lots of nice ideas. And it'll tell you, the reason I like this is because the 21-day fix is, you know, based on portion control, and you get the little containers. The book actually will tell you, for one serving, which has got nothing to do, you know, you don't know how to put a serving of, say this, if you had a slice of toast and eggs in this, she will tell you what it actually works out as. Half a green, one yellow. One yellow is a slice of toast. Half of a red, and that's your protein. 2 eggs make a red, so you've got a half of a red there. But it tells you it without you thinking about it. So I'm loving that. It's really helpful. I'm doing my workout every morning. It's about 10 o'clock now, so I think I have waffled on for a whole hour. So I plan on catching my breath, getting something else to drink, and I'm going to go do my workout with Autumn Calabrese, if that's how you say it. She's the one that made the 21-day fix. I'm going to get that done, get this uploaded, and say goodbye to you all. I hope you've had a nice time sitting down with me. I'm sorry I didn't have a Kit Kat with you, but there will be times I do. That's not the end of Kit Kats and me. So, excuse me, I do hope you've enjoyed your time sitting with me. Next time I might be on the porch. We might still have a few nice days before fall kicks in. Seriously, fall. Oh, I won't even go there. But whatever you're doing, have a fabulous week. And I hope if you do want to start getting fit, you let me know so that I can, you know, encourage you, give you a little push if you need it. You don't have to buy anything from me. I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. But I know there's some of you wanting to do a little bit more, walk or eat better. That the free clean eating challenge is great for that, and anyone can join that. So I'll keep you posted on that part. I'll be back next week with knitting. I'll get these prizes out in the mail sometime this week. I'll wish you all a fabulous week, and I hope you do come back next week and join me in the knitting den. Bye guys.